Good morning and welcome to the How Can I Help My Child series. It is another morning and it is that time where we come and we talk about parenting and how we can support our children. In the How Can I Help My Child or Support My Child series, our goal is to answer questions that parents ask about parenting, different issues in parenting that come up, and parents call us, write to us, or ask directly when we have sessions with them. And so we thought rather than answer these questions over and over and over again from one parent to the next, why don't we create a show where we can answer these questions and parents can always come back to the show or to the session and learn from it. My name is Maribel Chima and I am the founder of the Parenting Through Mentorship Academy and PTM Resources. And yes, I am the proud matron of the Mastermind Circle, a peer mentorship and accountability group that we run for young children and preteen. Our goal is to raise more and more children who can take the front stage in their own lives. Children who can begin to lead themselves, who understand that they are the most important people in their own lives. When we do this, when we introduce children to this reality as early as possible, what we are doing is we are raising children who are not entitled. We are raising children who understand the role that they play in their own lives. We're raising children who are ready to solve problems first for themselves and for their community. Welcome to the show. If you're a parent here and you have a friend, a loved one, or someone that you know who can benefit from this program, why don't you tag them or let them know that there is value here so that they can tune in and be a part of the program every day, Monday through Friday at 7, 8:30 a.m. If you are a parent with a young child, a parent with a toddler, a parent with a school age child, parents with a preteen especially, then this program is for you. Because in this program, we are talking about things that concern you as a parent of a preteen, especially, and because as parents of toddlers and younger children, you don't prepare for war on the day of war. We say we need to prepare for war before war. So, yes, this is why it is important that you learn these ropes. You learn these things we are talking about even before your children become preteens. If you are here and you can hear me and you can see me, please let me know in the comment section that you can see me and you can hear me. And if there's someone you need to tag, why don't you go ahead and tag them right away? If you are watching us on YouTube and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, it's a good time to subscribe to our YouTube channel right away. Remember to also click the notification button so that you can see when we go live and you can be a part of the program. So if you are here or part of all that we do, you are here and you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section. Okay. All right, then. So let's go. Today we are looking. So We started the series on how can I support my child to have a productive and fun summer holiday. And yesterday we talked about the other day we talked about how you can set goals for the summer holiday. Yesterday we talked about how you can create routines. Yes, that's what we talked about yesterday. We talked about how we can create the right kind of routines in our home, right, this summer holiday. And today we are going to be looking at how we can create the environment in our home, how we can create the right environment in our home to promote productivity and fun during this summer holiday. Why are we doing this? We're doing this because we know many times that parents have an idea what to do. They've heard many times that, it's important that they plan or that they do ABC for the summer holiday. But when it comes down to, getting this done and getting this, creating, the strategy or what it takes to get this done, we know that sometimes parents struggle with this. And so this is why we decided to run this series, so that if you are one of those parents who is struggling with how to create this, how to create that ideal space, or how to create all of these things that we are talking about during the summer holiday, then we will give you a template, or we will give you the how, so that all you need to do is tweak this, okay, and then of course apply it in your own family. All right, so today we want to look at that environment. All right, the environment in your home. How can we make your environment, or our environment in the home, such that it is pumped up for learning, such that it is pumped up for us to indeed have the summer that our children deserve to have. Sorry, I'm trying to do some housekeeping here, and it's a bit tedious because I can't even understand what is happening on the page. All right. Okay. So, yes. So, how can we create that environment? Yes. How can we help you create that environment that your child needs? Because we know that the environment is everything. If the environment is right, then the children will naturally, gravitate towards making the best of their environment, because children by nature are curious. All right. Children by nature are curious. They are explorative by nature. So if the environment seems like where exploration can happen, if the environment seems like where, all right, all of these, if the environment is inviting, then the child would actually get into that space, of making the best of that environment. But if you do not know how to create this kind of environment, and you end up creating an environment that is not inviting, you end up creating an environment that is not proper, or that is not appropriate for the child, then this may be the reason why the child cannot be the best version of themselves in that environment. All right. Environment is everything, and the environment includes the people in that environment, the things in that environment, the resources in that environment, the content in that environment. All of these things are going to form the child's environment. Yesterday I talked about, I don't know if I wrote or I talked about, the fact that our children should be introduced to reading as early as possible. All right. If our environment does not promote reading, if our environment does not offer books as an essential part of it, then your child is not going to appreciate books or reading as a thing, because it is your environment that is the first world that your child is going to know. So right from when your child is little, when your child is born, your environment is first the world that your child would know. So the child will see the world as it is through your eyes and through your environment. So the first environment that you create in your home would be how your child is going to perceive the world. So in the first 3 years of your child's life, you are mostly programming the child for what the world is or the world should be. So if your child comes into an environment where there is nothing that promotes, or there is nothing that makes reading or books, an essential part of that environment, there is nothing that points to reading and books, as something that is essential. Apart from reading and books, it's everything else. What are the things that you want your children to see as essential? What do you want to present to your child as what the world should be? That is what your environment should hold. That is what should be seen in your environment. If you are not doing this, okay, then you are presenting the child with whatever it is that the child sees in your environment as what it is that the world should be. And that becomes what it is that your child will appreciate. If you go to some of our homes, what you will see very glaring and very clearly is from the living room, you will see a massive screen, isn't it? So you have a massive screen pending on what it is that your interest is or what it is that your values are. All right. So based on our values, you will see our values spread all around our space. That is the truth. Your value is spread all around your space. So when you come to an environment, the environment gives you a vibe of what the values of the people in that environment, are. You can walk into someone's house and what you will see would be probably a large screen. I mean, you've watched those programs, right? You watched, some of those programs you have, on TV where you have them visit a celebrity home. When you step into the celebrity home, a lot of the times you will know that this is a home of a celebrity. Some of the characteristic things that you will see, basically, or some of the things that characterize that space would be usually a large screen. There'll be a theater somewhere. There's always something that just points you to the lifestyle that, this person's lifestyle, and all of that. Now, sometimes when you come closer, all right, and these people have children, now it becomes, there is now that conflict, of, okay, is this environment the perfect environment for the child? And it's not just about celebrities, it's actually all of us, all right? At some point, your environment will project, the time or the season of your life. As soon as children come into the dynamics, you should be asking yourself, this environment that I have presently, does it reflect the fact that there is now a little human in this space? Is it conducive for this little human? Does it portray the picture of the world that I want this little human to have? If we are not having this kind of conversations with ourselves, if we are not reflecting like this, then chances are we're not going to put into consideration that we have children, and we're not going to create an environment that is appropriate and conducive for the child. So this summer holiday, you want to look again at your environment and be sure that your environment is that world that you want your child to see. That your environment is that world that you want your child to actually absorb and you want your child to live out. Okay, so you can't be saying one thing and your environment is saying another thing. The child is formed that by the people who raise them and the environment where they are raised. So the environment is a big factor in who your child becomes. All right, so you can't get that wrong or you can get that twisted. So yes, I said in some home you will go and the first thing you see is a huge TV in the living room, and then you go to the kitchen, there's a huge TV or something. You go to every room in the house, like you practically turn left, right, and there are TV screens and all of that. Now in that kind of environment, it is a given that your child will become a screen buff. Your child will be addicted to screen because that environment has been prepared for entertainment in that way. All right, so it's not just screen, it's many other things, right? It's not just screen, it's many other things. You have in your environment, you have created a space for smoking, you have created a bar for drinking, whatever it is that you have created and you have put as part of the aesthetics of your home would become the environment that your child knows. Now, based on your values, do not take these things for granted. Whatever you put in that environment, make sure that it is in line, it is in tandem with what it is that you want your child to see as the world and you want your child to embrace as what the world should be. All right. When we do this, then we are being intentional. That is what it means to be intentional. Don't preach one thing and your environment is speaking another thing. Let your environment speak what it is. All right. So if you walk into some home, if you walk into my home, the first thing that will hit you that you would know when you come in is the fact that we are lovers of art. So you will see at a glance that we are lovers of arts, because when you come in, you will see abstracts here. You will not just see, okay, pictures, the way we take big picture of daddy, big picture of mommy, family picture. No, that's not what you will see. Okay, you probably see one or two pictures, okay, but you will also see abstracts, and you will see art that is intriguing. You will see a few art pieces that are intriguing, that will make you walk to them and wonder, oh, what is this about? So that alone tells us that, tells you that, okay, art is a thing for us. The other thing that you will see when you come into our home is that you would know that books are a thing for us. All right, because as you come in, you will see, you won't miss it. You will see our family library. It's a huge one somewhere in the corner there. Now, when you walk to that library, you will tell, oh, that this is the parent session. You will tell that this is a children's session. You can tell, right, that books is a thing. And because the library is a library, it's not just a container, it's not just a frame on the wall, it is a library, an active one at that. So you will know that, okay, books are a thing. You walk into the rooms, okay, you will see behind me right here in my resource room, you will see all of my parenting books, okay? Most of my parenting books are right here, right there. So all of those books, every single one of them there is a parenting book or something that is close to, what I do. And on my table, I have two stacks of books, all parenting books. If you walk into the children's room, you will see in each of the rooms, you will see a mini library. At the side of my son's bed, you will see a tiny little what's that called, a shelf or some little rack, right? You will see a book rack right by his side, just so he can stretch his hand and drop a book he's reading, or pick one and read when he's trying to sleep, or stuff like that. So you can't, when you walk into our home, you can't miss the fact that books are a thing for us. For some families, you walk in and you can tell that food is a big deal for them. All right, you can tell everything around them speaks that, oh, there's probably a chef in here, or food is a big deal. And it's, whatever it is, let it just be in line with who you are, what your values are. Make sure that your environment is speaking the values that you want to pass down to your children, and that you are intentional about it. You move into some homes, you would tell straight up that, you would tell straight up that plants, and plants, horticulture, and all of that is a big deal. Some homes you move in, you can tell, right, that you would just tell, right? So whatever it is, some people you move in, you would tell that these people, culture is a thing for them, right? You can tell straight up that culture is a thing for this family, and so they do not play with their culture. All right, so let your environment, let your home speak of who it is that you are. Okay, you move into the home, you can tell that God is put, first above everything. You can tell from how it is, the things you see in the home, the things that hits the eyes and hits your mind when you get into that space. All right, all of these things she portray. When you move around our home, it would take you 5 minutes before you realize that, okay, we've got some structure going on here, and we got some belief system that we have. Somewhere you will find my family vision somewhere. You will find our media plan somewhere. It's not hidden. It is in a space that the people who live in the home and the people who come into our home can see, because we don't want to get it twisted. No one is above, or no one is beyond our policies, basically. So provided you are an inhabitant, temporal or permanent one in our home, you know what it is that we stand for. You know what it is that are our boundaries, and these standards hold every single one of us, and even the people who step in our homes, in our home. These standards play for everyone. So what does your environment speak? Okay, and does it speak clearly? Is it clear enough for anyone who walks into that space to see that this is who we are, this is what we stand for, and this is what our values are? All right, so this summer you want to go back and look at that. All right, and then Now begin to prepare the space for your children to succeed in that environment. I can't do that now. So you begin to check that your children can succeed in that environment this summer holiday. All right. So the first thing you want to do, so let's jump right into it, right? We have just about 10 minutes left. All right. So the first thing you want to do during the summer holiday, of course, bearing in mind the age of your children, right? Bear in mind the ages of your children. Bear in mind, your family dynamics. Always, in everything that you do as a parent, always have at the back of your mind your family dynamics, and of course the age of the children, or who the children, or the children in your home, who are they, and their ages basically. All right, so the first thing you want to do now is you want to look at your environment and see, is the decor and all the everything, right? All the things in your space, the accessories, the decors, all of that. Does it, right? Are they in place? I mean, are they in a place, or are they, set in a way that that environment is safe, especially for the group of children in that home? So what it means is that if you are a parent of an infant or a parent of a toddler, then there are things that may not be safe right now, okay, to be in your environment, like having glass, having glass accessories, having things that the children can pick and put in their mouth, having things that the children, having switches and stuff, and things that your children can actually get electrocuted or anything like that. You want to make sure, especially during the summer, everyone is going to be free and having fun and jumping around. So you want to make sure that things are in their place where they do not pose hazards to your children. So that's the first thing you want to do to set up your environment for the summer holiday. Make sure that things are in the place where they do not pose a hazard in your home, and that the children can have access and they can move around without you constantly having to micromanage every situation and all of that. So yes, you're going to be present, or you would always have a reliable and safe adults, right, around them, but definitely make sure that on its own the environment is safe enough for your child to thrive in it. All right. The other thing you want to do is you want to now begin to look at your plan for the summer holiday. We've talked about plans on Monday. We talked about, plans on Monday. We talked about routines, okay? They will come up here a little, but yes. So you want to look at your plan for the summer holiday. What are the plans that you have for summer? What do you plan to do this summer? What skill are you developing? What things are you learning? What habits are you honing? What are the things that you have planned to do during the summer holiday? Now you want to sit down with the children and create the environment that will, the environment that will incorporate all of the things you want to do during the summer together. For instance, if you're going to be baking this summer, it simply means that, okay, that goes on the list, and it means that you are going to do something about that, isn't it? If you're going to be learning if you're going to be doing a lot of brain teasers, it means that, yes, it means that there'll be puzzles and there'll be all of that, in the environment. So you talk about that and you plan for that. All right. If you're going to be doing a lot of obstacle courses, it means that, yeah, we're going to need materials for obstacle courses, and things like that. Of course, we're going to be reading lots of books. It means that, yes, materials, resources and all of that. So you want to sit down. Number two, you want to sit down with the children and decide what your plans are for the summer holiday, and then work towards getting all that you need, all right, to make that happen. So that's number two. Number three, now we know what our plans are. Now we know what it is that we want to do. We know what our plans are. We have made sure that the environment is safe and all of that. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to create an organized and accessible system, and an organized and accessible storage system in your home for all of these things. So during the summer holiday, especially if you are a parent of toddlers, now you want to make sure that for all the things that we're going to be using for summer, if there were things that you've used before and you've packed away, now it's summer, you want to bring everything out, isn't it? Now bring them out, clean them up, and then put proper storage spaces for them. All right, the children are going to be using the building blocks a lot. You have just bought a new set of building blocks. You have bought a new set of, paint by numbers. You have bought a new set of puzzles. You have bought a new set of Lego. You have bought Monopoly. You have bought, you have all of that. You have brought all of these things. Your Jenga cubes are ready. So you have all of these things. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to put them in their right places. Remember, number 2, we said, if you sit down and create a plan, and then you know the things that you're going to be doing, you have already created your plan, right? So you know the things that you are going to be needing to effect those plans. So it means that you're going to need to get resources. All right. So you're bringing out your old resources. You are going ahead to get new resources. The things you're going to be doing, we're going to be playing a lot of board games in my home this time. So it means that we're bringing out our old board games and we're looking at the ones that are not, effective anymore, the ones that the pieces are missing and it's not, so it means that we're putting a budget to buy those things, and all of that. You're replacing them, you're getting new one and all of that. I said at the beginning, always take into consideration your family dynamics. So if it's not something that you can do, then you want to look for how to improvise. You want to look for other things that you can put in place. You want to look, and see if you even have friends who have these things that you can loan or borrow for, so you look at them and you can say, okay, can we borrow them for 2 days? Just look for something that works for your family dynamics. But by all means, be intentional and do something towards making sure that you are deliberate about the children having a productive and a fun summer holiday. All right. So get that in place. Now that we have all of the resources that we need, based on our plan and what it is that we want to do this summer, now we want to keep these things in a way that everyone can access them. Yes, if you have toddlers, in a way that your toddlers can access the things that they need for their own summer holiday and fun. Do you understand? So put them in containers and put them in storage, right? And put them in a way that is accessible, organized neatly, and all of that. Please, parents, a summer holiday is not time to be disorganized and dirty. Nobody has said that. Yes, let the children be free. Let the children have fun. Let the children play without structural. Okay, let them play without your rigid structures. That's the word. So let them play without rigid structure, but that does not automatically mean that your house should be dirty and stinking. So when we say, okay, learning is in the fun, learning is play is the language of learning. Play is the language of learning for children. All right, play is the job of a child. Okay, when we say that, we do not mean that they should play and everywhere should be scattered. We do not mean that paper should be shredded and thrown all around your house. We should not mean that when we come to your home, we should be looking for where to put our feet because your children are on holiday. We mean that the children can have maximum, fun, and then they should have time for everything, and they should know to clean up after they are done with an activity. So yes, let them have fun, let them make the best use of their space and of your home, but let them also learn to clean up after they are done. It's part of the whole thing. You're teaching organization and you can't let your eyes off your focus. All right. You are teaching skills even in the midst of all that you are doing this summer holiday. All right. So yes, the next one, number 4, is you want to create play areas. You want to create play areas, right? So you want to, as much as we want the children to flex and have fun in the home and all of that, at no point should you be raising children without boundaries. At no point should you be raising children without, boundaries and a sense of organization. So let your children know that, oh, okay, this is the play area for mud and for Play-Doh and all of that. So that your child does not end up with mud and Play-Doh on your cushion and you say it's because I'm trying to make my children free and I want my children to enjoy the summer. All right, now that does not hold, or that does not make sense anymore, isn't it? So there should be play areas for different kinds of activities. All right. Your children are having summer does not mean that you can have a friend over in the living room and you are having a conversation with your friend simply because your children are having summer holiday. Okay, so you have a friend over, or you are, some other person is probably, watching the news or something like that, doesn't mean that because your children are around during the summer, you can't sit and actually listen to the news and have a time like that. All right. So we can all have fun. We can all have the best of the summer holiday. Okay. All we need to do is let the children know the boundaries and let them know the areas for each kind of activity. So create your play areas, create your different play areas for the children. For instance, the children are not going to load their water gun and come indoors and shoot water guns all around just because it is summer holiday and we say let the children be free. So you understand what I'm trying to say. Let the play areas be, distinguished, and let the children know they can have fun, but different kind of fun in different kind of play areas. So you want to do that. All right. The next one is you want to pick out the books. Okay. So I can't do anything without talking about books, right? Because books are an essential part of the summer holiday. Books are an essential part of your life. Books is not a hobby. Reading is not a hobby. Reading for leisure is not a hobby. Reading for leisure is a lifestyle. It should be a part of your life. The way we say you need to exercise, you need to eat fruits, you need to eat vegetables for you to be healthy. You need to read for you to be healthy mentally and in many other ways. All right. So create a whole list. Okay, we're supposed to talk about that yesterday. So create the list of books. Let your children decide to challenge themselves. It's a good time. Pick the books that you want to read during the summer holiday. And we got you on this one. We already created, a plan for this one with fun activity summer with our summer fun activity book challenge. All right. In that challenge, what we've done is we've created a whole system that you don't have to bother about that system to incorporate books and reading during the summer holiday. All you need to do is turn to us, register your child for the book challenge with just 3,500 naira. That's all. That's all you need. Register your child for the book challenge, and the book challenge has got you if you have children from 0 to 13. I promise you, even your 15 and 16-year-olds can use our book challenge plan. All right. So all you need to do is just use the summer challenge to fill in that area of your plan, right? Use the summer book challenge to fill in that area of your plan, where we will give you the activities. We will give you all that you need to make this summer amazing as far as reading of books, stories, and learning in that area is concerned. Do you know that just having your children read during the summer holiday can actually reduce summer slide. It can actually take care of summer slide. The activities we're talking about, if you have these activities in place, the brain teasers, the puzzles, reading, all of these, it can actually keep your children on point. People that are always scared, what do you call it, summer slide, when the children go back to school, they will not be able to. So because of that, lesson teacher should come and continue. Stop wasting all of that. That's not what summer is about. Summer is a time for your children to rest. Summer is a time for the children to live structured learning and learn without all those structures. Yes, this is what summer is about. Learning is more than just math, chemistry, physics, and biology. Learning is bigger. Your children can have all the grade A's and A pluses. If your children do not have the requisite soft skills, they do not have other life skills, your children will still struggle and struggle really badly. All right, so there is a place of learning in school and structured learning, and there is also the place of this relaxed and flexible kind of learning that should happen during the summer holiday. And reading for leisure and reading, all of these activities we're talking about is part of how you can achieve this. So we got you covered where all of that books is concerned. So on the screen right now, you will see the information to join the Summer Book Challenge 2024 is our third edition. All you need to do is screen grab it, and then of course go ahead and make payments. Just 3,500 naira. It's like 150 naira per day. That's what we are doing here, or something like that. All right. yeah, get your children on board and let's do this. It's going to be one of the most fun things that your children will do this summer holiday. I promise you, book reading never got this fun. All right, so get them on board immediately and let's move. We have just 8 days before the summer book challenge starts on the 1st of August. You don't want to miss it. And when you come to join us, when this challenge has started, it's not going to be the same price. Okay, to get into the challenge, the original price is 10,000 naira. So if you want to get in now, because as soon as the challenge starts, the amount will go back to its natural, I mean, to its original price, and then you have to pay about 3 times what it is that you can pay today, and it's just 3,500 naira. You can't even buy pizza, right? You can't even buy pizza. That's a quarter pizza that you buy and then you move. Even if you are not sure what it is, get in. It's just 3,500, and then you will be amazed when you come in, and you'll be glad that you jumped in even before you understood what this is about. All right, so number 5, is it number 5 or number 6? Okay, incorporate brain teasers, into this summer. You want to incorporate things like that, brain teasers, things that will help your children think critically, that will help your children solve problems, that will help you bond as a family, that will help you do activities that will hold their attention span for some time. All right, so things like puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, painting by numbers, Lego pieces, Lego blocks, and many more. All right, you can look at this, go on Instagram, go online and check, games that you can play during the summer holiday. You want to get into that, and get this for your home. This will help your children stay on track. It will build their ability to solve problems, your ability to think critically, Monopoly, all of these games, get them into your system, incorporate that into your system. If you have younger children, you also want to incorporate nature into your system. Sorry about this. You also want to incorporate nature into your system. All right, so bring some nature into your system, into your home, and then have loose parts, loose pieces in your home where you can arrange them nicely and invite your children to play. So when your children get there, they will try to create things and fix things and all of that, during this period. All right, remember, we're creating your ambience inside your home. All right, next tomorrow we're going to be outdoor. We're going to be telling you what you can do with your children outdoor during this summer holiday. All right, so inside, bring a bit of nature into your home. Right, make sure you bring a bit of nature into your home, especially if you have young ones, that by bringing pieces, all right, pieces that your children can make something out of. All right, bring pieces and leave them loose parts that your children on their own can get creative and form things out of those loose parts. What you're doing is you're teaching them critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, and all of that. When you do this, you spark your child's ability to innovate things, their ability to create things, basically. All right, the next one is you want to get enough arts and crafts, art supplies, in your home, arts and crafts supplies, and then put them in places where your children can access them. All right, so this way your children are able to create, things from scratch. This is how innovators and what do you call them, inventors are built. This is how we tap everybody, every child is an inventor, right? By nature, every child is an inventor. If we preserve their curiosity and their propensity or their attraction for exploration, if we leave that intact as parents, we will realize that our children will create things because they constantly want to interact with their environment. And it's through this interaction with their environment that they discover the environment, and they're able to create solutions or create ways to maximize their environment. It is that maximizing of their environment or creating solutions for them to thrive in that environment that leads to the creation of, that leads to innovations and inventions, basically. So a lot of times Well, the reason we are not innovating or inventing is because most times that genius has been destroyed in the name of parenting or in the name of keeping the child safe. All right, so the more your child is encouraged to explore, the more you create resources are placed in their environment that they can tinker with and figure out, the more that part of them that is inventful, that part of them that can invent, okay, and innovate, the more it is exercised, and of course, the more creative your child becomes. All right. The next one is let family be involved. Okay, make it a family involvement. Whatever it is that you're doing, involve everyone in the family. Have family competitions during this period, cooking competition, racing competition. Pair up as family members and do something exciting in your home. All right. Also help your children exercise their muscles in the areas where they have skills or in the areas where they have gifts and talents, and do that right inside you can do that right at home by creating that environment. For instance, the children can read books and you can have them do a presentation of the books that they are reading or the books that they have read. You do a presentation where everyone can be a part of it. All right, pick a book to read together as a family during the summer holiday. Okay, that way you can do shared reading and you get to share perspective with your children, and you get to pass down your convictions to your children and your values to your children through the books that you read and the choices of the books that you pick for this period. All right, we're going to stop right here today. And we said that the book challenge is in 8 days. You want to get in here and register your child between 0 and 13-year-olds. If you have a 0-year-old to 13-year-old, they can be a part of the challenge. We have 3 categories: 0 to 5, 6 to 10, and 11 to 13. It's going to be such an amazing challenge. It's going to be such a beautiful time. You will be glad you were a part of it. You will be glad you registered your child to be a part of it. But more than anything, you will be helping your child cultivate this life skill, an all important skill of reading and love for learning. There are no lifelong learners who are not readers. Readers are leaders. Readers are lifelong learners. Readers are successful people. So you want to get your child into that space where your child cultivates this habit as early as possible. And readers are actually born on the laps of their parents. So what this tells to you is that your child learns to read. Your child is introduced to reading and to books right from when your child is 0. Join the reading challenge so that we can teach you how to get your child into that space where you can actually program them to be lovers of books, even right from when they are 0. Thank you very much for being a part of this. If you caught the replay of the session, please let us know in the comments if you got value. If you are here, let us know that you got value in the session. You want to catch a replay. You don't want to miss all the value that we have poured out here today in the last 40 minutes. Thank you for joining me again, and then I'll see you again at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow when we come with another skill or another way that you can prepare your home, your environment, yourself to have a memorable, fun, and productive summer holiday with your children. Thank you very much, and bye for now.